Hi, my name is Lucy, and I've been manifesting consciously and intentionally for at least 10 years. I manifested lots of awesome things into my life. It's been a roller coaster of a lifetime, and I'm here to share my tips and tricks and ways to manifest what you want into your life faster. So you decided to manifest love with a specific person or a relationship with a specific person. How are we going to do that? Let's figure it out. The first thing you should know is that love starts with self-love. You have to believe that you yourself are worthy of your manifestation. You have to believe that you deserve this relationship or this love with this person or any person for that matter. If you're not feeling worthy, if you don't love yourself on a deep level, even once it can still happen that you can receive your manifestation and you can start your relationship with that person, but you can sabotage it. You will sabotage it if you don't love yourself, and if you don't feel you deserve it, you will know, there's no doubt you will sabotage it. There's no question. Because when we don't feel worthy, when we receive a manifestation, any manifestation that we don't feel worthy of, we feel in lack, we feel scared because suddenly we're here in this situation and we don't feel enough self-worth and self-love to be in this situation. So we tend to get nervous and weird and do all sorts of things to sabotage the relationship and the attention and everything, the dynamic, everything that is good about it. The only right thing to do is to change yourself from within, to create this self-worth within yourself. And I will tell you and give you a couple of tricks of how to do that once I'm done explaining this part. The most important thing for you to do is to give yourself the love and the self-worth. And that was my most frustrating thing when I was a teenager and I was going through a lot of stuff when I was growing up and even like as a young adult, and everybody kept saying, oh, you just need to love yourself more, and nobody tells you how. So I'm not gonna do that to you. I'm gonna leave you with some tips and tricks of actually how to manifest and create the love within yourself for yourself first. And it's most of the time it's not what people think. I wrote this book, Boundless Self-Love. It's available on Amazon if anybody is interested, but that's not the point at all. I will share a bunch of these tricks with you in this video. It's 30 practical tools for self-love. And the reason I wrote it is every true manifestation, every true desire that you can bring into your life or attract into your life, because this is the law of attraction, right? The law of attraction is always working. Every single desire that you can attract into your life starts with self-love, starts with self-worth. And you manifest what you think you're worth. For example, if you don't feel worthy, even if you know nothing about the law of attraction, that makes no difference, because gravity works even if you don't know about it. Laws of physics and laws of the universe work even if you have no idea they exist, right? So law of attraction is always working. So let's say you're not feeling worthy and you feel powerless. So you bring into your life more and more situations in which you will feel lack, in which you will feel powerless, in which you will feel weak, and in which you will be proven over and over again that you are not worthy. Because that's what you think of yourself. So the only way to change that is to feed yourself, to change your mindset. It's really hard because we as human beings developed this ego, and the ego fights for survival. And the ego is not a bad thing. It's our identity pretty much in this lifetime. It's not a bad thing, and it fights for our survival. What's not great about it, if you don't know about the existence of this whole structure, is that when you think the ego is actually you get attached to your personality, to your lacks, to your, let's say, depression or anxiety, or you can be like, I'm shy as a person, or something like that. And then changing your shyness, for example, changing your depression, or changing anything about you for that matter, is death to that ego. It's death to that perception of yourself, and that makes it very scary for our identity. But it's not scary at all in reality, because we are not that identity. That identity is so relatively easy to change once you realize what you're doing. Since I wrote this book about, I think about a year ago, I actually learned a lot more, which I will share with you on this channel. Everything I know I will share with you, because this information has to be out there. I believe that we will create together a much better world, because once you're happy, you're gonna start creating yourself and making other people happy. Because when we are happy, the only thing we want to do is to share this happiness with other people. And that's what I'm doing here. You are not your thoughts. Remember that. And when you realize that and you start observing your thoughts, and I 100,000 times recommend meditation, but I know not everybody's ready and not everybody's up for it, but give it a chance. Even if it's only 1 minute a day, it will change your life, and it will help you get deeper and deeper into more interesting things. Like, I'll give you my own example. Is I did Vipassana. I've done a lot of things in that sphere. I've done ayahuasca, and I've done a lot of plant medicine, and I've done Vipassana meditation. I've been to 6 Vipassana retreats. It's a 10-day silent meditation retreat. I've recently started doing breathwork sessions with my husband every morning, almost every morning, like 99% of the time. We do Wim Hof guided breathwork sessions, which, if you're interested, I will link down below. They're absolutely phenomenal. After the first time, you will see how your mood has changed, how your life has changed pretty much. And it's absolutely amazing. But regardless of which method you use, you have to find a way to watch your thoughts and be in charge of your inner monologue. Because your inner monologue, otherwise, is in charge of you, of your emotions, of your feelings, and of your whole well-being, even physical. Because when you're not happy, when you're anxious all the time, when you don't feel worthy and you don't feel self-love, you eat garbage or you drink alcohol. I mean, I don't feel literal garbage. I don't mean literal garbage. I mean foods that are not good for you. You drink, you might smoke, you give in to other addictions like watching Netflix all day or something like that. And that's not always terrible to watch Netflix all day, for instance, because sometimes we just need to give ourselves a little break. But in general, making our lives revolve around numbing ourselves by watching the news all the time, watching Netflix, watching sitcoms, watching whatever it is. And there's a huge difference. And that's I guess my first lesson of self-love. There is a huge difference between numbing yourself with all of these things and making yourself better by eating the healthiest possible food you can find or afford, and finding out what's actually good for you, and living in a way that makes you better. Because love, this is the whole thing about self-love. Love is not a feeling. Love is an action. So once you realize that, how would you act towards the person that you love? I know that when I love somebody, I want the best for them. I want to make the best food for them and, like give them vitamins or have them be healthy. Do everything in my power to have them feeling happy, healthy, and the best possible version of themselves that they can possibly be. And that makes me very happy. So the trick to do for self-love is to do that for yourself, even when you don't feel you deserve it, because it's an action that brings out the feeling. It's not that you have to generate the feeling magically. It's that you have to act on the feeling as if you already feel it, and you will feel different. You won't feel the kind of love that you think you will feel, because most of us only understand pretty much romantic love or for like relatives and stuff, but it's a whole different type of love. Self-love is very different. Self-worth is very different than loving your partner or loving your specific person or loving your parents, for example. And to generate that, as I already said, you have to start acting on it first. Find the person that you love. Like for me, it's my best friend Diana, because we've been friends since we were 12, and that's a whole beautiful story. But she's my best friend, and she's my sister, and she's amazing. And when I talk to myself in a way that I don't feel good about, well, like when I mess up on something and I'm like, oh Lucy, you're, that wasn't that was pretty dumb to do. And then I was like, if Diana did that, would I say that to her? Would I like say it's so dumb to do this or that? And the answer is probably no. You're much more kind and much more accepting and much more patient with people that you love than you are with yourself. 99.9% of people have such horrible self-talk, and that is the root of so many problems in everyone's lives. Because when you talk to yourself like a piece of crap, how do you expect other people to see you differently? Okay, so we're going to talk about the first two. I don't know if you can see that. Alright. The first two from my book, it's a self-love mantra. A self-love mantra to love oneself is the beginning of a lifelong romance. That's a quote by Oscar Wilde. So every chapter here starts with every tool. So it's a book of tools, it's not really chapters. But every chapter / tool starts with a quote that somebody said about self-love from a book or something like that. Oscar Wilde, the author, he's amazing. I love him. So every morning when you wake up, before you even open your eyes, that's the secret. I studied hypnosis and I learned that we actually are in hypnotic states automatically twice a day, right before we wake up, and like during the time we're waking up, and right after we fall asleep. So if you're gonna do affirmations, which is another amazing tool, I have a bunch of this channel. I started this channel thinking that I'm only gonna post affirmations, and eventually I realized that wasn't enough, because a lot of people just don't know how to use affirmations. And even though it's not really rocket science, but there's much more to the law of attraction than just affirmations. So here I am talking to you about these other things. But affirmations are one of my favorite tools, especially that they're so easy. I wrote these affirmations myself, the ones that are on this channel, because I feel like they speak to most people's limiting beliefs. Do the opposite of confirm the limiting beliefs that you may have. So if you're gonna use affirmations, the best possible time to use affirmations is right when you're falling asleep. So just turn them on and go to bed, and as you're falling asleep, your mind becomes super programmable, and just right when you woke up, you can put affirmations on also. But what I used to do when I was struggling with self-love and understanding how self-love works, I would train myself to repeat in the morning, I love myself, I respect myself, I deserve to be happy. I did that as soon as I woke up, before I even opened my eyes. It's pretty hard at first because we're not used to doing anything before we open our eyes. And it's hard to like recognize that moment, when you're still asleep, kinda, but you're almost awake and you have to remember not to open your eyes. But you get used to it, it gets easier. I don't do this anymore, but it really helped me when I did. And let's talk about this. What is this? And let's talk about tool number 12. Make a list of your awesome qualities. We all have talents. We all have things we like about ourselves. Even if you haven't thought about them for a long time, there must be something you like about yourself. Even if it's small, even if you don't find it significant, make a list of those things. And that's going to help you reconnect with yourself on a positive level. And the last tool for today that I'm going to share with you on self-love is learn to set healthy boundaries. And I will read you a quote, and hopefully that will do the trick of explaining this one. No is a complete sentence, and so often we forget that. When we don't want to do something, we can simply say no. We don't have to explain ourselves, we can just say no. And it's Susan Gregg. The reality is, we forget that we live for ourselves, and we make other people's opinions and feelings and everything else a priority in our lives. And sometimes that's wonderful. Sometimes I'm not saying we don't need to pay attention to people's feelings. Of course, we all want to be a good person and a good human being and live from the heart. But at the same time, we can't truly love other people and appreciate other people and serve other people until we learn to do those things for ourselves. So back to the specific person and how to attract a relationship or love with a specific person. This is what you do. You say your affirmations in the morning, you say your mantra first thing in the morning, then you put on affirmations and you repeat them. Repeat them because speaking things out loud will actually increase the energy of them. Saying things out loud has so much more power than just listening to the things, because imagine a concert, right? It's wonderful and energetic because everybody is singing and talking and things are going on. Now imagine if it was silent. How much fun would that be? Or a roller coaster, for example. Same thing. If it was silent, how much fun would that be? So the energy, see the difference in energy when you speak things out loud as opposed to write them down or just listen to them, which is good too. If you can't say them out loud for some reason, just listen to them. But otherwise, if you can, I highly recommend speaking them out loud. Then you script or visualize. Those are my two favorite techniques, scripting and visualization. You script is you're writing as if you're already together with this specific person. You're writing how happy you are, how excited you are, how wonderful everything is. You might describe some events that are taking place when you're together, what you guys are doing together. Use as much emotion as possible, and that will raise the vibration and put you on the level of your manifestation, put you on the vibrational level of your manifestation for a while, enough to draw that to you. And then you put it away, and you put your journal and your pen, and you put that in a drawer, and you forget about it for the rest of the day, and you focus on yourself and the things you love, and you make your life exciting and fun, and you don't check your phone for text messages. You trust the universe. Trust the universe and really let it go. Really surrender and believe that the universe will give you what you want. That's it for today. This was a long video for me, but I'm really happy that I got to talk to you about the things that are really important, and I think I'm gonna help you so much. If you watched till the end, please comment and tell me about it. And don't forget to subscribe if you like this kind of content, and give me a like so YouTube sends this video out into the YouTube universe and more people can see it.